Welcome everyone, welcome to a very grey Berlin and for a second update from Fabbrica della Realtà live. Now in this appointment I want to show you a video. It's just 2 minutes. It's a video from my course. It's actually the second lesson from my course. Then I want to show you a little bit of what is happening behind the scenes, a couple of presentations I'm working on, and at the end I'll be available to respond to your questions. If you see me look around, I'm just checking some other monitors. So what's going on? Next week there is the 22 secrets webinar. 22 webinar secrets every virtual presenter should know. This is a very interesting appointment. We have already 98 signups as of now. So we're going for the 100 mark and we have 6 days to go. Pretty excited about that. And along the preparation, I have made quite a few slides, as you can imagine, and I had the chance to play a little bit with camera placement. What do you do when you are live, when you need to do a broadcast like this one? And so I thought I could show you some of the things you should do, but especially the things you shouldn't do. So what you're seeing right now is, how it should actually work. And if I switch to a few screen caps that I did before, here you can see this is what I usually see when I connect with other people. You have a lot of ceiling, a lot of neck, and these eyes looking down, which make you seem always quite cross. Now this is an exaggeration, but actually this is how most webcams are set up nowadays, and this also doesn't work. Now this is also another mistake, is placing your camera above your eyes. The effect here is quite interesting. You have the same look that a puppy dog has looking at you from below. And so you're like cute and tender, but it's not the most professional look. So what do you want, even with the super simple and let's say crappy camera of any laptop, is to be exactly in this position. So you have the camera lens at the height of your eyes and the laptop lid is vertical. It's not tilted in any direction because otherwise it makes a funny effect. Now there is another little issue that happens a lot, is that technology gives us lots of new possibilities, and sometimes we think that a new possibility means better, and this new possibility is the green screen. Let's have a look at what happens if I decided that my apartment is not good enough. I don't want this angle. I don't want to use this angle. I want something completely digital. So let's go digital. Now, if we go digital, this happens. I have the choice to build my own backdrop. So I can choose the hipster house, or maybe something a little less busy, like this living room. But then there's people that think, oh my God, I need to be more professional, so I need a backdrop of an office. And you have phenomenons like this one, like the sort of corner office in the city. Everybody knows you're in lockdown, yet this is your backdrop. Then let me see, the minimalistic office. Just a tad better than the previous one. It's not very distracting. The only issue is it's always 10:15, a bit boring. And then you go for the artsy. In this case, the wall background, or even, let's pretend we could travel to Stonehenge, or even deep into space. I don't believe this really works unless you really make an effort to make it match your content. I believe that your crappy living room, like in this case, is always better than those artifacted background. I'm curious to hear what you think about this and to debate this. But this is going to be one of the subjects of what is going to happen during the webinar. I've always had also had fun preparing the lesson for students of the Link Campus University that is happening tomorrow, actually, tomorrow afternoon. And this gave me the occasion to rework one of my favorite topics ever, which is storytelling. And it put me to work quite a bit because some of you might be familiar with my work on Presentation Hero and the hero's journey applied to presentations, which is a rather a simplistic view of the hero's journey. But since this is a university lesson, I really wanted to make a more of a scientific approach. So this is what I call a storytelling mountain. It's a very very low level view of the hero's journey. There's not as many steps and it's not as sophisticated, and it really works, especially in a corporate environment. But I wanted to go back to Joseph Campbell and go back to the hero's journey and see how it would make sense in the business world. And this is why I've gone back to the original steps of the hero's journey, and this is what it looks like, a hero journey for business. And upon this simple diagram, there is countless and countless hours of training that can be built. Another training that I can just not talk to you about, but I can actually show you, is actually the second lesson of my course. I will go to the recording of this lesson, and I will come back live in just 2 minutes. Enjoy.
Presentation Hero Academy presents Tell Your Audience Who You Are, lesson number 2 of the 10 lessons of the Presentation Structure module. So your presentation is coming from you, but do you know that your audience knows you? Do you know that everybody in your audience know you? So tell them your name. Even if the MC introduced you and told something about you, repeat your name. Why is that? Well, most probably everyone in the audience knows you already, but there might be someone who still doesn't know you. And in this case, well, a little repetition will not hurt at all. Now imagine that your presentation is just starting, yet you're in front of the microphone. What should be the first thing that you do? Well, in my opinion, your job is to motivate your audience, is to light them up, to give them enough reason to follow your presentation. And one thing you can do for that is to provide a bio of yours. Now, should you recite your whole resume? Well, probably not a good idea. But why don't you stay between 5 and 20 words and simply help them put you on a map, help them locate you, help them define you with 2 or 3 words by understanding in what field you're an expert and what is it that you are all about. Now, providing your name in your bio are just a way to highlight your humanity and to help your audience realize that they can relate with you and that maybe they can follow your presentation as well. So to summarize, say your name, highlight your humanity, help your audience put you on a map by providing a very short bio, and start motivating them.
Right, that was it. We have one question from the previous live that we had. Actually, we have the possibility of actually adding directly the questions to the broadcast, and I really want to take advantage of this in future lives. But the question that I got from Thomas is, I want to just read it to you. How would you go about engaging potential audience members to want them to attend a Zoom meeting, for example, a seminar or a sales presentation? That's a big problem because actually we are spending so much time in meetings, and most of these meetings, they're really, we have to. So whenever there's a voluntary meeting, then there's really a question, how do you motivate people to to actually attend. One of the things that I suggest is be very clear about the promise, very clear about what they will get. So if I title the meeting in a very specific way that highlights the advantage that you're going to get if you follow the meeting. Another trick that I use, and I usually do this at the beginning of any presentation, is already at the beginning, in the first 15 to 60 seconds, to provide one of the advantages that are contained in your content. So in this case, it's not a question of talking about how delicious a recipe is. You're actually providing a plate of that delicious dish to everybody that is following you. Hopefully this is helpful. And with this, thank you very much for watching. And I think we will be live next week. Don't forget to sign up for the 22 webinar secrets every virtual presenter should know. And let's keep in touch. Let me know what you thought about this this live. And see you soon. Have a great weekend.